Coach, I guess I've done the research and you were correct. Mississippi State has never hosted a number one team, but they have played a number one team one time back in '04. So maybe take us through the excitement and how you've kind of approached this. Has it just been a typical game week, or has there been a little more pep in a step?
It's been a typical game week. We've got an experienced group who, are very familiar with Arkansas. Like you said, it's a little bit added excitement that the first time we've hosted a number one team for a long, long time. And, this is the first time the SEC have had a number one ranked team since 1998, to give you an idea. So we've kind of just gone along business as usual. We talk about getting better each day and the things that we are going to have to be better at against Arkansas than we were on Sunday against LSU. So business as usual, but being great energy, great excitement amongst the girls and in the locker room and amongst the staff and the community as well. A lot of people that we bumped into have been talking about this game, which really pleases us.
And the last time that you guys played Arkansas in Starkville, you were able to emerge victorious. It's a different team, I know now, but is there any confidence you can draw from that experience?
Absolutely. I think whenever you play teams that have, Arkansas has had unprecedented success in the SEC play, at least over the last 8 or 9 years. And, sometimes I think with Arkansas, people can be intimidated by them. So 2 years ago, here we beat them 2-0, and I think we surprised them, and I think we surprised a lot of people, but we didn't surprise ourselves. We're a team that prides ourselves in not being intimidated, working hard, blue collar, never getting outworked, and that's what Arkansas are very good at as well. So I think it's a really, really good matchup between two teams that aren't going to back down.
This game's going to be hyped, there's no question about it, but is there a thin line between hype and overly hype?
Absolutely. We've got to make sure that the occasion isn't too big for us. We're expecting a record crowd. We're hoping we get a record crowd, and we're expecting it. So for us, she was on the other foot when we played Oklahoma there, right? They had 4,000 people, first ever SEC home event for any sport, and we were not overwhelmed by the occasion. And I think they were a little bit. So we've got to make sure the same doesn't happen to us. Once again, the experience in the locker room, I'm confident making sure that's not going to happen. But yeah, it's going to be the first 10 minutes, I think, will be the fastest 10 minutes that we've played so far this season. And we've got to make sure that we're concentrating and controlled aggression and controlled emotion from that standpoint.
It seems like the onboarding for this program, your team and your program, a lot of people on campus and within the department are just sort of starting to find out what you guys are all about. How exciting has that been for you? I know the players have to stay in the moment, but how cool has that been just for everyone just sort of starting to discover your team and your sport?
It's great. I mean, one of our roles and responsibilities as a coaching staff here at Mississippi State is to grow the stature of soccer in our community in the state of Mississippi. So I had a call with one of the announcers for the games. It's a national TV game, and she's a coach in Mississippi. And she's saying that all her team are coming and talking about it, and her local community knows about it. So the more that we can grow the game, the more that we can grow exposure, that we've got an unbelievable group of young ladies who love representing this Mississippi State University. So when you see their hard work pay off by credibility and recognition, obviously that's really pleasing.
Big contrast. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So if you guys get that record-breaking crowd, and then let's say y'all get that W. Everybody's just hyped, but if let's just say you get the record-breaking crowd and like you get the L, how do you continue to have people to buy into y'all's program? Like just one L doesn't mean anything.
Absolutely. So obviously short-term, long-term, never getting too high, never getting too low. All that we can ask is that we prepare the girls as best as we can, and that they come out and execute to the best of their ability. If they give their all, I know that the Mississippi State fans will recognize that, and that's as much as we can ask, and we'd be very proud of them. Whether we win or lose on Friday night, we'll have to turn the page and get ready for the next one, which is Georgia next Thursday. So from that standpoint, hopefully we win, but we'll take it one step at a time.
It's really a contrast in styles. You got the nation's most efficient offense against the nation's stingiest defense, and so something's got to give. And so how do you make sure it's your team it doesn't give?
Quite the matchup, for sure. I mean, Arkansas are free scoring. I think they've got over 50 goals so far this season, right? So I think when we go into it, one of the challenges is we haven't conceded a goal since Wake Forest, which was weeks and weeks ago. The chances are that Arkansas are going to get corners, get crosses, get balls into the box, make us uncomfortable. Maybe they score. We've just got to know that we've got to score one more than them. You know, I don't think it's going to be a 0-0 game, that I can tell you. So just making sure that the girls understand to stay in the moment. You know, we have great offense too. We've generated a lot of attack. Wish we'd scored more goals, but it's starting to come. So I think, you know, same can be said for Arkansas. They don't concede many goals either, right? So I think it's two really, really good programs that'll be excited to play one another. And I think it's going to be a toe-to-toe game for sure.
Coach, you mentioned that defensive efficiency, and you talked about how well your defense has performed this year. How much of a testament is that to bringing in Coach Drago in the offseason and the work he's done with your defense so far this season?
I am incredibly thankful for my whole entire coaching staff. You know, they do an incredible job. Anybody that's around the program know that they put together great game plans on both sides of the ball. Obviously, Coach Drago came in and, you know, in March, I think it was. And, you know, one of the reasons why we brought him in was to get fresh ideas. And, you know, he's done an unbelievable job of communicating and connecting with the players. And I think we're a little bit more aggressive in how we press from the front as a result. But all of my staff do an incredible job of preparing them, and Coach Drago is just another piece of that puzzle.
In addition to that, too, there have been some very gaudy scores that Arkansas has had. I mean, I guess they beat Missouri 8-3. I mean, you know, when they get momentum going, that they seem to really tack it on. How do you kind of prevent that from happening? The game kind of getting away from you.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas can score goals, you know, in a number of different ways, back to back, like you said. I think Missouri was 8-2. I think they beat another team 10-0, right? So for us, we can just control what we can control, which is putting together the best game plan, the best scouting report, which we'll go through today. Coach Drago will have done that, and Coach Zimmerman will put together an analysis as well, as Kat Stratton will be focusing on the set pieces. So for us, we just got to make sure that we understand, you know, where their strengths are, you know, how we can cause them problems on the other side of the ball, make sure that our players know their roles and responsibilities, and understand that we've got to fight for 90 minutes, regardless of the score. We can be winning, we could be losing, it could be a tie, but from the first second to the last second, we're going to compete, we're going to show that blue-collar grit mentality.
If you guys do end up, you know, falling behind a goal in the first half, I know that you've had no trouble generating scoring chances throughout the season. They're starting to find the back of the net a little bit more. How does that change your game plan? I know Allie Perry's been really starting to find her groove offensively.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're playing our best soccer right now on the offensive side of the ball as well. So, you know, I think there's multiple different ways that we can score goals, which is nice because it makes it harder to scout us from that standpoint. So I think if you look at the number of passes and possession and territory in the game so far, we've been, you know, the best team from that standpoint. So we can take pride in that, you know, Arkansas are going to have the ball. We're going to have the ball. And once again, regardless of the score, we're going to create chances of our own. And we're going to have to be more efficient, maybe, than we have been up to this point. But we've been working on that this week. So hopefully we'll see that on Friday.
A lot of steps have been taken to try to get people here
Yeah.
tomorrow night. If it's the shuttle from
Yeah.
downtown to here, free chicken sandwiches,
Yeah.
courtesy of your athletic director. Just talk about the support for all of these people for soccer and what they want to do, try to do for you tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Obviously, Mr. Zach Selman, you know, with the free chicken sandwiches. We've got 250 ice cream, you know, free for the kiddos, and then we've got 600 free T-shirts, and we've got obviously a big Bulldog Bash on Friday night. So to make sure that doesn't conflict with what we've got going on, there's going to be shuttles running to and from that location. So it's been great. The marketing, the administration, the community have all, you know, embraced this week and this opportunity. And that's why we've been saying to the girls, we've got to enjoy this now. We've got to show up and perform. That's obvious, but that's the same as every day. But let's enjoy a little bit of hype around this program that maybe there hasn't always been in the past. So hopefully we will reap the rewards of all of this hard work that people have put in. And, you know, whether you like soccer or not, like I said, you're going to see a group of young ladies that are going to fight and battle and love representing Mississippi State.
Speaking of the ladies, how are they? You know, it's a lot of hype on this program, which is amazing. What are you telling them to make sure, okay, okay, yes, we're gonna go into this game, but stay calm, you know, this is adversity, you're gonna face it. What are you telling us?
Ignore the noise, you know. Number 7 in the country, I think we are right now. That's irrelevant. It's what happens at the end of the season that counts, right? So for us, we really, really focus on just day by day, process by process, you know, whether that be individual work, small group work, collective work. And we say, you know, just focus on what we can control inside our locker room, inside our building. And I know I've said this, and I'm repeating myself a lot. It's easier to do that when you've got an experienced group because they've been here before, you know, two NCAA tournament runs already, you know, some good runs in the SEC, national rankings before. So they've been here, they've done it. So we rely on the leadership in the locker room a lot as well. But thankfully, you know, it's just the next game, you know, and they're familiar with Arkansas and they're excited to play them. They respect them. But obviously this is a great opportunity for us to test ourselves against what is considered the best in the country right now.
Yeah, and when you came here to build a program, and there was some building blocks already in place, but from like a recruiting standpoint, you've kind of built this up now where this game, in many respects, like this is why you would come to a Mississippi State. So I guess the better question is, you know, all this media attention and all the social media traffic you've had this week, there are people that aren't even soccer fans are going to come out Friday because they're Mississippi State fans.
Yep.
So how does it feel to have made Mississippi State soccer relevant to this fan base?
When we took over, we obviously had a blueprint of what we wanted to achieve. You know, success is the biggest piece of it, but how we can integrate the whole community, because I chose Starkville because of this community. But we had to put a product on the field that made people proud. So recruiting people that are ambitious, that are competitive, that are goal-orientated, that have outstanding character, that want to get better day in, day out. That's how you build a culture. That's how you build a team. And getting people to understand that when they move on, their responsibility is to leave this jersey in a better place than they found it. If we continue to do that, the program will grow. So, you know, success has come about, you know, the last few seasons and hopefully will continue. But once again, as long as we're competing on the field and giving 100%, that's what the Mississippi State fan base demand and that's what they want. And that's our responsibility for the girls to understand that going into each and every single thing that we do.
I don't know if you've been able to let your mind go there yet because you've been so busy with game preps, but have you thought about what a win Friday would do for your program and for your season and for your club?
It would be a great statement. For us, honestly, the thing that we are looking at is we've played some really good teams and we've had some good moments in games. We've tweaked things a little bit here and there. This is an opportunity for us to test what we've been teaching this entire season against who are the best team in the country right now. Then we can see where we're at as a result. Obviously, a win, marquee win, we'd go up in the rankings, that would be all great. But in the SEC, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So we would just have to turn the page quickly and focus on the next game. But the main thing is right now, where do we stand? You know, what do we look like against the best team, offensive team in particular in the country?
I know I'm late to the party.
All good.
I just want to see. So what's going on with y'all playing South Carolina? I heard it got postponed.
Yeah. So we had a phone call with South Carolina on the Monday. We were supposed to play them on a Thursday at 6:30 Eastern time. What was that? That was last week. It seems like an eternity ago. And so South Carolina mentioned that there could be some weather coming in with the hurricane, and their field doesn't do great from a drainage standpoint, but it got to the point whereby we had to make that trip, which obviously we were willing to do. But when we arrived at the field on that morning, it got moved to 12 o'clock. It got brought forward to 12 o'clock noon. When we got to the field, it was definitely unplayable, which was unfortunate because it threw us out of our rhythm because we were used to a Thursday, Sunday. So as a result, the SEC now are working on rescheduling along with, you know, Mississippi State's administration and South Carolina's administration. So hopefully we'll get some guidance on what that looks like here in the foreseeable future. But right now, Friday is the focus, and we'll figure out when we play that. We will play South Carolina. It's just a matter of when that reschedule will be.
And Coach, just to kind of close it out, if you had one final last message for the Bulldog fans that are wanting to come out to this soccer game, maybe like we've mentioned, so some of these people have never seen soccer in their life, that they're going to come out because they're Mississippi State fans. What's your message to them to come out to the pitch on tomorrow night?
You do not have to understand what is going on play-wise. You don't have to understand offsides or strategy, anything along those lines. It is going to be a dogfight. There's going to be a lot of competition against two very good teams. Top 10 matchup. The girls are working so hard right now to promote themselves, and obviously on the field and off the field. Please give us a chance. Bring as many people as you want. It is a unique experience. You can be in the rowdy section, you can be in the tailgating section, children can be running around, throwing the football, frisbee, whatever it may be. You can bring pets to the game, dogs are always running around, so it is unique. And when you do come, please, please, please understand that you can ring your cowbell from the first second to the last second. You can ring it irresponsibly if you would like, within reason, of course. But it should be an unbelievable environment. It's a great time of the year. I think high school football is out of town. There's another high school football team that's got a bye. So, if you've got an itch to watch some really competitive sports this weekend, this is a great opportunity.